This is my Pocket 3, which I've used for almost 2 years. This is the newly released Pocket 4. Hello everyone, this is GPN. I'm sure many of you are eagerly awaiting the Pocket 4. So how does it perform? In this episode, we'll discuss some user experiences and the differences between it and the Pocket 3. The one I'm holding in front of me is the all-in-one kit. Creators are advised to choose this one, as it basically completes the kit. Compared to the previous generation, the main difference in the all-in-one kit is the addition of a fill light. The benefits are obvious. Whether shooting portraits or products, especially in low light, the performance is definitely better. The microphone has been changed to this smaller one, and it can be used with magnets and magnetic clips. The advantages are that it's more compact and has more versatility in use. For example, you can attach it to your clothes like this without having to clip it. The disadvantages are: the charging method has changed. The included magnetic charging cable can no longer share a fast charging cable with the main unit. Also, I'm not sure if it's because of improved battery life, but the all-blue set has removed the previous battery grip. However, I tried it, and if you have the third generation, the battery grip can still be used directly. The protective case has also changed. Previously it was a larger case, but this time it's a smaller gimbal clip with a portable storage bag, making it more convenient to carry around. Other features like the threaded grip, wide-angle lens, windproof case, mini tripod storage bag, fast charging cable, and wrist strap are all standard. In short, the battery grip has been replaced with a fill light. Moving on to the core Pocket 4, those who have followed probably already know that the new 1.5-inch CMOS sensor has 14 stops of dynamic range, allowing for better retention of highlight and shadow details in video recording, resulting in more depth, especially noticeable in low-light conditions. It also boasts 10-bit D. The log color mode allows for more professional shooting and greater flexibility in post-production color grading. For video shooting, there's 4K dual-sided lossless zoom. The biggest difference from the previous generation is the addition of a physical zoom button in the upper left corner. As you know, I often need to switch focal lengths when shooting cars. With the previous Pocket 3, I had to slowly push the button, which was time-consuming and laborious. This physical switch greatly improves shooting efficiency. Single-click allows switching between 1x and 2x zoom. Double-click switches directly to 4x. The upper right corner features a new customizable button. You can freely set the functions corresponding to single-click, double-click, and triple-click, including quick photo capture, quick gimbal return to center, gimbal rotation, photo/video switching, on-off switch, light switch, etc. Here, you can customize according to your frequently used functions and preferences. The lower left corner is an upgraded version of the new mode. The greater the joystick push, the faster the gimbal rotates. If you want the gimbal to move slowly, you can gently push the joystick for more precise operation. The lower right corner still has the photo/video buttons. Another upgrade is in slow motion shooting. Previously, the previous model was 4K 120 frames per second, and now it's directly upgraded to 4K 240 frames per second. What does that mean? You probably remember that industrial camera incident that was all the rage recently. That's what it was. Storage. It has 107 GB of built-in storage, supporting 800 MB per second of effective transfer. This capacity is basically sufficient. Of course, if you really want more storage, that's possible. It supports card slots. The camera resolution has also increased from 94 MP in the third generation to 37 MP. The battery capacity has increased from 1,300 mAh to 1,545 mAh. The body size has slightly increased, being a bit taller and wider, and the weight is also slightly heavier than the previous generation, about 10 grams, which is almost negligible. Audio. It features Osmo ARDUO 4-channel output, can directly connect to 2 transmitters, and simultaneously save 1 to 2 audio tracks as well as the camera's dual-channel ambient sound. In some professional editing software, it can directly recognize 4-channel audio, which is more suitable for professionals. Overall, the initial experience with the Pocket 4. Significant improvements have been made in video and photography capabilities, especially for professionals. Features like 10-bit D-Logo stand mode, 4-channel output, and 14-stop dynamic range are particularly noticeable. The buttons have also been fully upgraded, offering more convenient and precise operation. For ordinary users, the improvements will be more intuitive. Of course, the rumored Pocket 4 Pro is indeed coming. There is such a version. Currently, based on official information, the only thing we know is that it's dual color. As for the specifics, we'll have to wait for a later product release. Finally, will you choose the Pocket 4 directly or wait for the 4 Pro? Leave your comments below. See you next time, bye.